I don't know. Down in the valley, having no one to hold. Hey, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Because right now it's time for Make We Talk. You know, it's a throwback Thursday, right? I can feel your great hand. So this week inside of Make We Talk, I have with me Noreta Lewis Prince, who was born in Jamaica, where she taught youth music, drama, dance, poetry, one piece of long list, you know. She won the JCDC Gospel Festival competition in 2000 with a song, I'll Make It to the Valley. That's what I'm playing right now. And she now resides in Alberta, Canada. She works with Engagement Lab Theatre of Alberta, Third Space Playback Theatre Company, Inspiration Drama Company, and Ribbon Rogue Foundation Art Space Theatre Theme. She also teaches music therapy, wow, and is the founder of a youth dance group, She Fire Dancers, I hope I got that right, named after her nephew, Chiano, who was murdered in Jamaica. Noreta is a singer and a music teacher by profession and taught in the public school in Jamaica for 8 years before migrating to Canada. Now, Noreta continues to sing and teach music online. Hey, Noreta!
Hey!
What's up? I saw you dancing earlier.
Oh, yeah. I was, oh my, that was beautiful. I enjoyed that song.
Yeah, it was really good. Real throwback, you know. No, Noreta, this is you. You look so young.
But try.
Noreta, welcome to Make We Talk on Love 101 FM, the family station. You're inside alive, and it's the first time I'm seeing you. Like,
wow.
Right, I'm now able to put a face to the what's that, Noreta, and I see that you're a big dancer, I know, because the way I saw you bust some moves earlier. That's true.
That song.
Oh yeah, it was really good. Yeah. Now, Noreta, what was life like growing up as a child?
Wow. Well, my mother has 14 children, so you can imagine. 14.
Whoa!
Yes.
At what position do you fall?
I am the 9th.
You're the 9th.
The 9th. Yes.
Whoa.
So my household was always full. Always full.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We grew up very poor, but I didn't know that we were poor. I thought we were rich. Because my mother would take on the other person's children and she was growing them also along with us. So I felt like we were rich. If we didn't have dinner today, my mother would make a big dinner the next day to make up for what we lost.
Whoa.
The day before. So I grew up and I thought we were rich because my household, it was such a beautiful childhood that I reminisce all the time about that.
Wow.
We were rich, not in money.
Yes.
In love. Oh my goodness. But my household was filled with love. And that is what matters.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, who discovered this gift, your singing gift, and how old did they discover this talent?
Actually, I remember the first song that I did was a song that says, oh Jesus, I can't remember it right now, but I'll remember it afterwards. Yeah. I had a godfather I grew up in 10 Miles, Bull Bay, and I had a godfather that they call Hawkman. I never forget that. He would come down from the country every Saturday and he would sell food. He was my godfather. And back then, people would send their children with their godparents and it would be nothing. My mother sent me to spend holiday with my godfather. Yeah. And I went there and I went to the church with him and with his wife. And that's where I discovered that I could sing because they were singing a song in the church and I started singing it. And as soon as I went back home, I sang it. I got up in my church and I sang it. And everybody was like, wow, you can sing. I was about 5 years old then.
5?
I was about 5, yes.
At And you discovered that, hey, you know I can sing. So let me go back and go bust a little song now.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then at 5, I can just imagine how little you were, short.
Really, really tiny. I'm still tiny.
Yeah. Wow. So that's how that discovery was made. So does this gift, does it run in the family?
Yes. My grandmother, growing up, my grandmother, there was always music in my house. My mother, I saw my mother learning to play the guitar. And my mother, growing up, she said that she played the piano. My eldest sister
Oh,
played the piano. My grandmother was a
music.
piano teacher. Was a piano teacher. So I grew up around music. And I mean, my whole family, her siblings, everybody played an instrument or sang at that time.
Wow, that's a musical family. And I can just imagine when you guys are just having your, your time that you just come together, and someone is over there playing piano, someone is singing and dancing, and because you can dance so much.
I wish
I saw you earlier.
it was just a rhythm. It was
Yeah,
just a rhythm.
really.
Just a rhythm. Yeah.
My
Oh
goodness.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a lot of that. We did a lot of that.
You
Yeah.
did a lot of that. Now let's talk about JCDC that year. Now 2000. This song that I'm playing right now, "I'll Make It to the Valley,"
Yeah.
that won that competition in that year. Now,
Yeah.
what led you to enter JCDC at that year?
If I tell you about that story, that's a funny story. The year before, I was going on a camping trip with my church. And we were on our way in Manchester. The van that we were in, the van was dark. There were no lights in the van.
Right.
And the driver put on a tape, and it was Jackie McCullough preaching on the team going through the valley.
Wow.
She was preaching on the 23rd Psalm. I did not see the 23rd Psalm in that light before. And I grabbed my book and I grabbed my pen in the dark. And I had my finger running across the book while I was writing because I know I could not see anything.
Yes, because it's dark.
So I was jotting down. I was jotting down everything. And I just jotted down everything. And then I went home after the camp. And when I went home, it was a surprise that when I went home, no one was home. I was home alone. And as
Wow.
soon as I went home, I began to feel this, coming from camp and out of that atmosphere and going home and no one is home. There was a void inside of me, emptiness, because I was so excited at camp and singing and everything.
Yes.
And I was home alone. And I started to feel really, really lonely. So I picked up my book. I picked up my little piano that my mother bought for me, a little Casio that my mother brought for me. I picked it up and I started playing and singing. This song, "I'll Make It to the Valley," took me I would say about 20 minutes to write.
Right. Wow.
About 20 minutes to write. Because everything was just flowing. I was
Yeah.
just flowing. I was just flowing, you know. And so I entered this song. I think my entry probably was the last entry.
Last entry
My
in the
friend said to me, "Noreta, that song, I think you should enter it." And I said, "No, there's so many persons. And she forced me. And so there was a man in Jamaica, so I was forced.
I was just about to say that today. You were tasted, right?
I was forced. and so, and so I was the last person to public set my entry in. And they called me. And they called me and said, "Okay, your song has been chosen to go to elimination round."
Yeah.
Elimination round is just elimination round, right?
Yeah.
And when I got the call, my friend was with me and she held her hand like this and put it in front of me and said, "Now that you have won the festival."
Whoa.
She said, I'm practicing my interview with you. She said, "You're going to win." And I said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "No." She said, "Here what? if you win, you have to give me $5,000. I said, okay, not a problem.
Hold on. But $5,000 was good money back then because that's 2000, right?
That's 2000. It was a little money. Yes.
It's good money.
It was.
It had more weight.
Of course, it had a lot of weight back then.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so when I went to elimination rounds, there were 285 entrants.
Wow.
That year. In the back of my mind, I didn't think I would have come up in the top 12. And that year they had top 12.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I didn't think I could, but God.
Yeah.
But God.
So why didn't you think you could?
I was looking at everyone else except myself.
Wow.
I listened to everyone else and I listened to the beautiful voices. But I was just listening to the voices. And I was saying, yeah.
So you had some amount of doubt, right?
A lot. But let me give you another funny story.
Right.
I in the middle of everything, I knew I was going to win. I'm going to tell you why. And it wasn't because I thought I was good. I went with a youth group, the Full True Church of God youth group in Clarendon. We had a youth congress. Yes.
You know that church. I've been there, right?
The Church of God, yes, in a Chartered Road.
Yes.
I was in a big mass choir there. And I went to a youth congress in Riches, Clarendon. That's where my mother is from. And we were singing the song, the Whitney Houston song, "The Lord is my shepherd." Sissy Houston, "The Lord is my shepherd." And I was the lead singer in it. Remember, my song is based on the 23rd Psalm, right? The Lord is my shepherd, right?
Right.
I was the lead singer in the song. And there was it was a mass choir. Everyone was in black and white, black skirt, white top. As soon as the song was done, and we were coming out now, we were lining up and coming out, the choir was coming out. There was a lady at the door. Her name was Lona Copeland Blair. Lona Copeland Blair. She was at the door and she was looking in everyone's face. And as soon as she reached up to me, I told no one that I had entered the festival. I told no one. As soon as the lady reached up to me, she grabbed me like this and she said to me, "Were you the person leading the choir?" I said, yes. She said to me, "I'm going to prophesy in your life right now." Wow. She said, "You're going to sing before thousands." Mm. When she said that, I laughed out. I was like, oh! And she turned to me and she said, "Why do you laugh? You don't believe me?" I said, "I laugh because I believe you." Wow. And that was when the Lord dropped it in my spirit that this is a platform I'm using for you. And so I held on to it and I said, "Lord, this is for me and for your secret."
I love it.
This love it. For your secret. And I held on to it. Yeah. And I'm victorious. Yeah.
So from that tape that you heard, by the way, children of God, for the youngsters, you don't know what tape is. It's like cassette, don't. That's cassette, right? It's not the tape that way, right? It's cassette.
No CD.
No, cassette. So from that point when you were on your way home from camp and you heard that tape with the valley, going through the valley, you went home and you wrote that song in 20 minutes. My goodness. And you were one of the last persons to submit your entry to the JCDC. Yes. And here you are, you're the winner. You won in 2000. What was that journey like for you, Noreta?
It was a beautiful journey. It was a beautiful journey. I had a lot of fun. The persons in the competition, we had such a family, a feeling of family. Everyone they were so nice to me, and they thought I was really young. And so I was like the baby of the group.
Can you give us an age range? Because I know people don't like to say their age, right? When they come on here. Age range. How old were you? About like the range,
About 30-ish.
in that range.
No, I was nearly 30. Yeah.
In that range, right? Yeah. At that time.
Yeah.
No, but Noreta or Noreta? Noreta, you look young, man. The grace of God, hallelujah.
God, hallelujah.
Oh my goodness. Noreta, was that your first time entering JCDC? I believe it was, right?
Well, actually, I entered that song the year before, but it wasn't played because I taped it, and the dogs were in the background barking, and the rooster was crowing. So they didn't even call me. They didn't even call me for elimination.
The animals wanted to be a part of that mix. They wanted to enter the competition with you.
Yeah.
So that was in 1999. You entered.
Yes.
Right. Whoa. My God. But the following year, God said, hey, this is the year. This is the year.
This is your comeback. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. No, I want to ask this question now. What's the biggest takeaway from that competition?
The biggest takeaway is that if you persist and if you believe in yourself and if you're determined and if you don't give up, you will make it. You will make it. Yeah. And one of the things that made me really, I'm happy that I did that song that year was that there were persons who called me, persons who planned to commit suicide.
Oh my goodness.
And listen to the song and change their minds. 2 persons that I know, 2 persons. One person, I was doing an interview at Love FM. I was on the television doing an interview at Love FM. Well, on the radio, but I was at Love FM. And during the interview, in the middle of the interview, someone called and wanted to talk to me afterwards. And they put the call through, and it was a girl. And she said, she's in the church. She's a choir director. Her father is a pastor of the church, and she's pregnant.
Wow.
And she's pregnant.
Yes.
Said she's going to take her life. Doesn't make sense. And I was like, in my own little self, I was like, oh, what can I say? You know? But I worked with that young lady. I worked with that young lady. When she had the baby, when she told her parents about the pregnancy, she called me to let me know. When she had the baby, she called me to let me know. And then when she was getting married, she called me. Noreta, I wanted to sing at my wedding.
Oh.
I could not do it because I was traveling overseas at the time. Yes. But that was a beautiful story. And then I went to St. Thomas again to sing. And after I was done, a lady called me outside and she said to me, I planned to kill myself. And it was your song that saved me.
And that's I'll Make It Through the Valley.
Yes.
Step by step. And you only wrote that in 20 minutes. So you see when the Spirit downloads.
Different.
My God. So that was the biggest takeaway from the competition. One of the biggest takeaways. Like you realize how much your song ministered to people. And my God, that's good. So I know that you were kind of doubtful about entering. So when you entered, you're like, I don't know. But then someone came and prophesied to you. So after that person prophesied to you during the competition, did you know that you were going to win after she did that then?
After the prophecy, I was convinced. This was the Lord dropped it down in my spirit that this is what He said to you. This is it. You're going to sing before thousands. I was like, okay, Lord, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
And what was the feeling like when you heard him being announced as the winner?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that feeling. I was talking to someone the other day about it, my sister, I think. And I said to her, every time I remember that night, there's a little feeling that I get on the inside because that feeling was out of this world. It was out of this world.
Mm.
Honestly, when I came off stage that night, when I did my song and I came off the stage, the first thing I said to myself, I blew it.
Really?
That's the first thing I said to myself. I said, I blew it.
Why you said that?
I because I cannot explain what happened on the stage. I don't know. I was like not in myself. I don't know what happened. So it's like when I came off the stage, I have no memory of what happened on the stage. And so I said to myself, well, I blew it. Even though while I was on the stage, persons had cheers up in the air.
Oh my! They were rooting for you.
After that year, I heard that after that year they changed Ronnie Williams and start making the chairs unmovable.
Oh, so people want they lift up and go on the most way.
People had chairs in the air.
Oh my goodness. They were rooting for you,
Oh
man.
yeah. And that feeling. I was at the side of the stage and I remember persons from JCDC coming and standing beside me, and they were announcing the third place winner, and I was standing there, and I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and they're like, and I'm and I didn't know why. I was very nervous. I was like, and they were like looking at me, and they were acting nervous and looking at me, and
Are you nervous? So they're nervous looking at you. Why are you nervous looking at them?
exactly. And then they announced the second place, and then they announced the winner. And my head, I
Oh,
felt like my blood pressure went up.
you were
It
excited.
was a beautiful feeling. It was beautiful. It was
I can
beautiful.
I can just imagine. I can just imagine. Now, after winning, when did you release your first song? Well, right, after winning, when did you release your next song?
Ah, it took me a while.
Mm.
It took me a while. I don't even remember. It took me a little while. Um, 2000 because I went to college after that.
Oh,
I went to college. I told myself that I'm going to do something that I wanted to do for years.
yes.
And so I got a little money in my hand. So I said, okay, let's do this.
What was that?
I went to Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts,
Yes.
and I did music education.
Oh.
I got $300,000. I got 200,000 for winning, and 100,000 for the best performer.
Wow, that's good.
I
And I
don't
know
know,
lots of years, 23 years, but I'm saying congratulations.
that was a good money then, right?
Heavy, hefty.
Exactly. When
Yeah.
I went to college, my fee was 20 something thousand dollars. And I think it was 20 something or 30 something. So I could have paid that easy.
Man.
Right. Exactly. And I sent myself through college. I didn't borrow any money. I didn't go to student loan. I sent myself through college for all of those years until I graduated.
Ah, and I see that you just have a love for music and education and
Yes.
all of those things. I see it. It's so evident.
Thank
Now,
you. Thank you.
what do you consider the biggest achievement in your career as a gospel artist?
Uh, my biggest achievement would be being able to travel the world. Travel the world. There were parishes in Jamaica that I did not know before I entered the festival.
Yeah.
There are lots of places in Jamaica that I did not know.
Which parish are you from?
I'm from St. Andrew.
You're from okay.
I'm from Bull Bay, St. Andrew. I
Oh,
was
right,
born in
right. You mentioned it's 10 miles,
right
Bulby.
in 10 miles. And
Right.
my mother's from Clarendon, so I knew Clarendon, and I know Clarendon and Bull Bay. That's the parishes that I know before, and I think I know St. Thomas. But before that, before the festival, I really didn't know Jamaica. And so I
Yeah.
was able to travel all around Jamaica. I was
Oh,
able to stay in the same, drive in the same van with Shirley Caesar in
yes.
Antigua, talking to Shirley Caesar in front of me like this. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Get to meet Alvin Slaughter, Ron Canoli, all of those,
nice.
all of those artists. And I'm not talking about, I'm not even to mention Jamaican artists,
Yes.
not even to mention them. All the artists travel different countries, Montserrat, Antigua, uh, Trinidad, Canada, before living here, the USA, Cayman Islands, all over the world. I was able to travel and minister.
Mm,
Ah,
that's good. And on that point, when you started as an artist, who were some of your motivators in the gospel music industry?
oh my goodness. Shirley Willis from Grace Villas,
That's right.
Shirley Caesar.
Mm.
Well, in fact, I just love the Grace Villas always, always Grace Villas.
First
There was
Lily.
another group in Jamaica that I really love. Um, gospel. Oh, I can't remember their names right now. But there was
Go-
another group in Jamaica that I grew up loving. Yeah,
Gospel.
those two persons were, yeah, those two persons, Shirley Willis, Shirley Caesar. They were really an inspiration to me growing up.
Yes. So was there an artist or a group that you modeled as an artist?
I would think, I, I think Shirley
It
Willis.
would have been.
Yes, I would listen to her. Growing up, I would listen to her, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love, I love it. You see, the thing is that singing is more than as a minister, as a minister, singing is more than just singing and getting the correct notes.
Yeah.
You have to make people believe what you believe.
That's true.
So as a gospel minister, you have to minister. So it's more than just singing a song and sounding beautiful. People will
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you if you sound beautiful and they say, oh my God, beautiful voice. But when you minister, you leave long lasting memory. People will remember you when you minister. They will not forget ministry. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. What were some of the struggles or challenges you encountered as an artist? Because I know a lot of times Jamaican artists, and not just Jamaican artists, but artists on a whole,
Yeah.
they would encounter some things, when you just start, it's always
Yeah.
hard. What
Yeah.
were some of the challenges you encountered?
Some of the challenges that I encountered as an artist, back then, I think being very laid back, very quiet. Um, I think I was too quiet, too laid back. You know, I didn't challenge anything. You know, if I go towards something and it didn't work, I just step back.
Mm,
And so I think that was a challenge for me. My personality. I think that was the only time I remember going to a show, and I was waiting in the van to go into the show, and I was listening to the show happening, and I was sitting in the van, and there was a lady in the van waiting with me, and she turned to me and she said, how you doing? She just said, how you doing? And I looked at her, and I was puzzled. And I said, what do you mean? She said, look at you, you're so quiet. When you're on stage, you're a totally different person. How did you do it? I could not explain to her. I don't know. I don't know. You know. So I think that was one of the things. I was too quiet.
You're too quiet.
I don't know if that was good or bad, but I was too quiet. And yeah, that kind of stopped me from gaining more. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too quiet.
Now, children of God, if you're just joining us, I am talking with the JCDC Gospel Festival competition winner 2000. The song "I'll Make It Through the Valley." Noreta Lewis Prince, and she's here. She's sharing her story, her journey, and wow, I'm just basking in it. Now, let me just take some comments from you, our listeners. I'm seeing some peeps on Facebook and YouTube. All right, so Okido Headlamp says, "My sis Noreta, love loads, miss you a lot. Greetings coming from Birmingham, England."
Oh, hi, Okido. I know it.
Nice. Jason Royalty, good afternoon. Ceciline Powell says, "Hey, Sara-Ann and your guest. I remembered." And he's always dancing while singing. You see, I'm telling you, she said dance. You see? That's what I'm telling you. Dwayne Tracy says, "Wow, you are looking so young and beautiful, Noreta." I told you, I still remember you the year that you won the JCDC competition. That song was a perfect song to win that competition. Yes, man, I make it.
You're too kind, Dwayne. Thank you so much.
Charmaine says, "Love her song. I make it through the valley." Great song. Kristen says, "Big up yourself, woman of God." Elroy Wedderburn says, "I love your songs, Noreta." Amen. Althea Sadler Wilson says, "Noreta, I remember the year your song won. I Make It Through the Valley. And you did Dance of a Star in this song. Is everybody talking about you dancing? I just say, I can't really dance. But you're a dancer." No, Donna Malik says, "That's my friend."
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Pardon Tracy says, "Beautiful lady, beautiful song. When God continue to bless you." Let me see if I see any more. Kayla Stevens says, "Amazing. Winsome, good afternoon to you." Paula says, "Great song." President Love, our love president, good afternoon. Dorothy Coley says, "That song is an anointed song. I mean to tell you, Dawn." Sister Gladys Simmons, "Congratulations, beautiful Noreta. More blessings, my sister." Ray Marfin says, "Hello, wow, I love this. Nice. My favorite song, I Am Persuaded." Right, hello, Noreta, we have to talk about that song, because that song, oh my goodness. I'm going to see if I can find it here in just a moment. I'm seeing lots of love coming in for you. Javel Fiddikin says, "My mom, she didn't love it bad." Even says, "Hi, looking good. Keep it up." Yes, she looks really good. She looks really good. No, talk truth.
I am shy.
I have something from our listener here. Raymar Finn says, "My favorite song." Oh, right, I got it. My favorite song is "I Am Persuaded." I am persuaded. Yeah, my goodness. I am persuaded. He specializes. I don't think.
That's Laureen Williams.
Right. Wounded Soldier was done by
Laureen Williams.
Yeah.
That's Laureen. Yes.
That's Laureen.
That's Laureen.
Yeah, that's Laureen. But you also have a song called "Wounded Soldier." You remember that song?
Oh.
You don't remember that song, Noreta? Wounded, they hear it.
Fighting for the kingdom of God.
Wow, she did not remember this song.
Wounded soldier may die.
Noreta?
Yes. I forgot.
You forgot it. Yes, man. And Lorraine has a song by Wounded Soldier, so maybe that's why you were saying.
Yes.
But man, you have this one called Wounded Soldier. My goodness. You have a lot of songs, So where are you now musically? What have you been up to?
Well, I am in studio. I'm in studio now.
You're in studio now?
Completing some other songs. Yes.
Yeah.
there was a song that I sent to Fabian that I just did. It's not yet released. Um, it's what's the name of that song again? It's mm,
It's a new song.
it's one of those new songs. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
So you're in studio now and you're doing some songs and those things.
yes.
So talk to
I'm
us
finally
more.
getting my compilation songs compiled together to put things in place. Yes.
Yeah. Talk to us more. What are we looking at? An EP, an album, singles?
Well, I'm doing some singles at the moment.
You're doing some
So
singles.
yes, trying to
Ah,
get everything together to do an album. Yeah.
nice. And when can we expect like a release?
Ah, I think maybe early next year.
Next year. Early
Early. I
next
need to do about maybe about two more songs or so.
year. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Now for the album, how many songs are you planning on having
Maybe
on that?
about 12. Maybe about 12.
12. All right. That's
Yes.
good. Now, Narita, what is one thing you like people to remember about you years to come?
Years to come. Just remember that I am a minister. I love what I do. I love people. I love to speak positive words into the hearts of people. That's why.
Oh, nice. Now, outside of being an artist, you are a music teacher.
Yeah.
How rewarding is that for you? And did you always wanted to be a teacher?
Always.
You
Always.
always wanted to be a teacher?
Always. I grew up around teachers. My grandmother was a teacher. My mother was a teacher. Growing up, I remember in class I would go on the board, I would write for my teachers. I would enjoy that.
Ah,
I remember at 11 years old, my mother asked me, "What do you want to be?" And I did not hesitate. And I
never
remember that.
did.
I said, teacher, a teacher. Yeah.
Wow,
There's
that's amazing.
something about teachers that I love. Growing up and looking at teachers, I there's something that I admire about teachers. They work so hard.
Yes, they
They work
do.
so hard.
Amen. You're
Yes.
very active because teaching all of these things in theater, dance group, chief fire, dancers, and all of those things. So no one, I know that you can dance in another region. And see, I have people saying, attesting and say, yes, Sarah. You see, that year she was dancing and rocking her
It's,
body. My
it's
goodness.
more of a rhythm. It's more of a rhythm than really dancing. It's just that I have a rhythm. Just that.
Rhythm is still kind of dancing, it's all about, the rhythm when you're dancing. So we couldn't see that you were nervous, during that time. Mhm. Now, how important is it from your perspective to teach the younger generation the way to go?
It's very important because uh, you want to leave something positive in them.
Yes, you do.
Because guess what? If I don't teach them, someone else will.
Yeah.
And maybe they will teach them something that I don't want them to know. So guess what? It's important for me to teach them and to get positive things out of them, you know, and to let them know they can do it. Growing up, I did not think I could. There are certain things that I thought I couldn't do because I was so quiet, right? And so I look at quiet kids and children, and I would let them know, oh, you can do it. You can do this. You can
You
do it.
can do it.
You know, yeah, you can do this. You can do that. Yeah. Do
I
you know
love
Chris Wright? Do you know Chris Wright?
Chris Wright.
He plays for Jermaine Edwards. He's Jermaine Edwards.
Oh, keyboardist.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. I'm going to give you a story about Chris Wright.
Yes, give us a story.
Chris Wright was about maybe 6 years old. We're going to the same church. I remember his brother Andre told me, oh, because I know Andre could sing and Andre's sister could sing. And then Andre said to me, they called me Miss at the time because I used to teach him on the choir. So Miss,
Yes.
Christopher can sing. If you hear Christopher sing, I said, what? So we had a youth day one Tuesday evening in Johnstown,
Yeah.
Church of God in Johnstown, Oliver Road. And Chris came, and he was sitting on that side of the church, and I was sitting on this side. And I did like this. I called him.
You called him with the one finger.
I called him when he came, and he was standing with his little, his little dreamy eyes. And I said, I want you to sing tonight in youth meeting. And he did like this. And he said, no. And I looked at him and I realized he really wasn't going to sing. And so I threatened him. I put my head down again and I whispered to him and I said to him, if you don't sing, I'm going to beat you.
Oh Lord. And he said, why, miss? Why, miss?
I said, if you don't sing, I'm going to beat you. And when I said that, he looked at me like this and I said, are you going to sing now?
He didn't want to be beating,
And that was it. I knew I wasn't going to do it, but I had to say something for him to realize I was serious.
Yes, man.
And from that night, Chris can tell you, that was a different child. That was when everyone knew, oh my goodness, we have a star here.
Yeah.
We have a star here.
And you recognized the talent from
the
time.
The
Yes,
talent.
man. You spotted the talent. Now, as we wrap, I'm out of time. What are some of the things you do for fun, Noreta?
I have fun with the children. Right now in Canada, winter is coming up soon. So going to gardening, I love theater. So I have fun all the time working with my theater companies here in Canada. Picnics, hiking, riding my bike.
Your bike as in bike or bicycle?
Bicycle.
Oh, okay. All right.
I love biking. And I love playing music. I play my guitar. I play my piano. I love that. And I play the drum.
Oh, you play the drums too?
Oh, yeah. I play at church. Yeah.
No, man. You're one man, man. You do everything. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I love the arts. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. You love music.
Oh,
Now, I couldn't allow you to come and not do a little line. I'm out of time. But give us one line of a song. Any song.
I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days. I know that's more than a line.
No man, continue.
And some lonely nights. Oh, but when I look around and I think it's over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. So I want to say thank you, Lord. I won't complain.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Noreta, for that. I won't complain. And what a way to end this interview. Thank you so much for your time, Noreta. All the best. Looking forward to your album, the singles, and all of those things.
Thank you, Sarah. One love.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. And that was Noreta Lewis Prince. And you know her for this song, I'll Make It Through the Valley. That's all the time we have for Make We Talk. This is Love 101 FM, a family station. It's now time for us to go over to celebrations. Now, do remember 30-second voice note.